Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, and I am on a new computer. It was quite a journey last weekend. Um, this new computer has a brighter iris, and I'm really happy about that. It's an iMac, and I was considering getting a different kind of computer, but this one seemed to have some pretty good ratings. So again, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and our educational program, Teacher's Guide and Activity Coloring Book. Well, the last time I just looked at um, my blogs and I see the last time that I was before you was 4 weeks ago, and I didn't realize that much time had passed. But there's a lot going on in the world of the world of the happy little garbage truck. You know me from giving tips and tools to teachers and parents on how to better present things to their students. And my background is in special education, so for 27 plus years, I've worked with students on the special needs program and mostly children who are on the autism spectrum. This book was motivated by one of my students who just loved garbage trucks. And as I was having a hard time getting his attention, I told my mother at the time that, I just don't know what to do to gain this child's attention. And she said, well, I told her all he's really interested in is garbage trucks. As soon as one goes by on the playground, he is focused on watching its every move. And so she said, my mother being a wise woman, why don't you write a book about a garbage truck? And so that he will pay attention to you in telling the story and weave in some of the social skills that you're working with him on. And I said, oh my goodness, how brilliant. And so my mother gave me some of the feedback that I needed. I says, what can a garbage truck do? And she says, well, you could live in a small town and the town gets bigger and things happen in its life. And what we both were looking at was even though small, this little truck was mighty. And he was able to overcome his um, situations, I'll say, without giving too much away. So the little garbage truck was my um, entree into the writing book publishing world. But as a teacher, I noticed that students did pick up a lot from reading to them in class. And, I love picture books. So that's why this was like a natural progression. But when you're teaching a child in the classroom, they are drawn by the pictures and they're drawn by the animation of the storyteller telling the story. But if you think about it, a lot of these books were written for a purpose. Think back about the Little Engine That Could. It's a classic that it was teaching a young person and us older folks that stick to itiveness gets things done. And he didn't know if he could, but he kept telling himself, I think I can, I think I can. And that was the positive affirmation message that he was telling himself that he could get up the hill to deliver all these toys to the little girls and boys. It's a beautiful story. Um, so in literature, in this book, I was working with just having a child feel good about himself. And that led to the teacher's guide and a social skills guide that I've also written, binder. But, the whole thing is that how do you present this to the child so that they can, in order for them to hear it? And so pictures, sometimes you have animated features, but, when you get back to books, that gives you a lot of latitude. When you're telling a story as a storyteller, teacher, parent, you can pause and reflect, which is a wonderful attribute of literature because a lot of times students just take in the picture and they hear the words, but they haven't the skill to reflect on what was being said or what did that that actual bit of text mean to them. So that's why I love storytelling. You can pause anytime you want. And one teacher's guide that I was reading on how to teach through literature even suggested that you could put like little sticky notes on the page so that if you forget what you're going to say to the child, you can reflect on it. Oh, yeah. And how do you think this truck felt when he was going through this period of time? So you can use a lot of different devices to help you bring out, flesh out what it is that you'd like the child to learn. Now, this all gets back to our purpose of bringing about a positive mindset. And so, my focus on these next couple of talks is to talk about literature, different books that are out there, and how I've used them in teaching my students positive mindset, kindness, integrity, stick to itiveness, and just developing good characters. As one parent said to me, I just want my child to be a good person. I think that's what we all want. So until next time, thank you so much for being with me today, and please subscribe and please share. Bye bye.